Hey, welcome. This is Doug, Realtor here in Utah. So, I wanted to just send out a warning this morning about scams. Uh, Yesterday, I got a phone call, and turns out that a friend of mine got that same phone call like 30 minutes earlier. So, apparently, it's going around. But anyway, got the phone call, made my heart race a little bit until I kind of figured out what was going on. So I get a phone call, and there's a guy on the phone, and he just sounds very military, very police oriented. And so he's like, "Well, sir, you need to, sir," and he kept calling me sir. And anyway, he said that somehow I had been summoned to a federal jury duty, and that I didn't come to the jury duty this past Monday or Tuesday, and that there were two warrants out for my arrest, and that but that those could be taken care of by paying for your own bail. And so prior to going to the police departments to finish and to get everything resolved. So anyway, I sat there, and this is enough to kind of like make your heart race a little bit. So anyway, but as I'm talking, he says, "Yeah," he goes, "You can come down here and get things taken care of." And I said, "Well, where's here?" And he goes, "Well, I'm about 3 hours south of you, in a small town." Well, so that was my first little trigger, I guess, is that he's telling me that it was a federal jury, and then he's telling me to go to some mom and pop city that doesn't have any federal buildings in it to speak of. And so to me, that was the first flag. Um, and then, but then he starts telling me that I can go to the local police department, but that I need to get that bail set up so that way if I get stopped going to there, that I won't be arrested, or if when I go into the police department, I won't be arrested because of the warrants that are there. And anyway, is the more I kind of let him talk a little bit and stuff, the more it was really evident that this was just a scam. But he pretty convincing, I'm going to be arrested, jury duty, blah blah blah, and and I told him, I said, I never saw a summons or anything that way. And he said, well, he goes, so we need you to fill out he had acronyms for all kinds of stuff, like, well, it's a DNS, it's a did not show or did not receive, or you got to fill out that form saying that you didn't get the paperwork to appear in stuff. And anyway, I just told him, I said, well, I got to tell you, I've heard of these scams before, and I just think that that's what this is. And he was like, well, he goes, you can think that all you want, but at least tonight when I go home, I will go home. And I told him, I said, well, tonight when I go home, I'll be able to go home, but I'll have my money in my pocket. And all of a sudden, he slams the phone down on me. Anyway, don't get caught up in a scam. Start asking questions. It has to make sense. You're not going to go to a small rinky-dink little town for a federal jury duty. Federal jury duty has to have a federal building, has to have, in a certain location. Anyway, make sure you kind of cross all the T's. And I guess the phrase that I use with my family all the time is finish the equation. Finish the equation. And even in the real estate world, there are scams out there. There's a lot of the discount brokerages that promise the moon, and then you end up having to do all the work and stuff like that. And So it's really no better than you trying to sell your house on your own. But anyway, but there's scams out there all the way around. So be cautious, but know that there is a scam going around. Like I said, a friend of mine got the exact same phone call that you missed your federal jury duty. So be careful. Don't fall for that one, and we'll talk to you later.